Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in for Core Yoga today. My name is Erica and I'm with UMBC Recreation. If you're new to this class, you've never taken it before, it's structured much like other exercise classes. We start slow with a warm-up, start to build some heat in the body. We pick up a little bit of speed, moving around on the mat a bit more, and then we have a cool down. At the end of the cool down, we lay down flat on the mat for about 2 to 3 minutes. We give some time for self-reflection, allow the movement we put into our bodies to sort of absorb, let our bodies process that. That's the main difference really. Yoga's not all just about moving our body, but also sort of changing that focus and taking a look on the inside as well. With that being said, I want to remind everyone to always listen to your body. Don't let your ego get in the way of your practice. Sometimes what I'm doing might look a little different than what you're doing in your body, and that's okay. Practice for you and your body only. And of course, always check with the doctor before you start a new exercise regimen. So we're gonna get started standing up today. So go ahead and stand at the top of your mat, feet hips width distance apart, facing forward. And maybe just put a little movement into your body, bending the knees, moving the arms, sort of getting out any jitters. And then find some stillness, standing nice and tall with purpose at the top of your mat, lifting through your chest, sending tailbone long to the floor, shoulders drop down the back. Take a few seconds here, deepening the breath. Really filling the body up with breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Take your right hand over to your left shoulder. Give a little pressure, lowering that shoulder closer to the floor. And then let your head fall to the opposite side, working with the neck a little bit here. We'll just hold for a few breaths, allowing the muscles on the left side of our neck to relax. Maybe letting the chin roll down to the front of the chest and then back and over to the shoulder. Let's switch sides, left hand to right shoulder, head falls to the opposite side. If you let the chin roll around the front on the opposite side, do the same here. Then lower your arms down by your side and lift your head through center. Lift both arms up overhead, reaching through your fingertips, stretching through the sides of the body. We'll hold here, deep breaths into the chest. Starting to stretch out the core. Slowly lower to forward fold, so bend the knees, drop your belly to your thighs, let your arms and your head hang heavy. Weights heavily in the balls of the feet, hips reaching high towards the ceiling, low belly drawing in. Head hangs. The nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time, we're gonna round our spines back up to a standing position. Leave your chin tucked to your chest until you make it all the way upright. Nice and slowly, arms lift back overhead, gaze up to ceiling, stretch through the sides of the body. And then we'll take a side bend over to the right, lower your right arm down by your side. Holding here, chin lifted from the chest. Belly button reaching back for the spine, so belly draws in. Slowly rise up through center, bringing right arm back up to ceiling. And find a side bend over to the left arm dropping down by your side. Breathing here, belly is active. Slowly rise up, left arm up towards the ceiling, and lower back to forward fold. Knees bend, belly drops to the thighs. Shake the head a few times, yes and no. Rise to half lift, flattening your back, placing hands on your shins, drawing the shoulders down the back and drawing belly in. Nice length in the spine here. Bring your fingertips to the floor and step back into a plank position. Traditional plank, shoulders stacked under the wrist. And lower the knees to tabletop, uncurling the toes, top of the feet to the mat. Lift up to the tips of the fingers and round the spine into cat pose, tucking chin to chest. Slowly lift and arch the spine into cow, gazing up to ceiling. Again, rounding the spine into cat pose. Lifting and arching back to cow. Take a few more of these at your own pace, rounding the spine, then lifting and arching. Few more times. Find your tabletop position. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes, heel in line with hip, glutes active, cores active, and flatten the back, so draw the belly in. Draw the right knee in towards your chest for a crunch. Start to round the spine, pull the knee up nice and high as you can, keep the belly drawing in, holding here, don't hold the breath, then step the foot in between the hands into lunge. If that seems pretty impossible to do without using your hands, you're more than welcome to place your foot into position, ankle right below the knee. From here, we're going to lift our arms directly in front, gazing down towards the floor, belly back towards the spine, cores active, then inhale, lifting arms overhead, and exhale, fingertips back to the floor. So we're starting to warm up our core now. Same thing, arms lift straight out ahead, draw your belly in. Inhale, lift arms up. Exhale, fingertips to floor. Last time, arms lift, straight out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fingertips to floor. Extend your right leg behind you, point through the toes, and return to tabletop. Left leg extends this time, heel in line with hip, draw the belly in. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, around the spine, pull that knee nice and high, hold it here, and step the foot or place the foot into lunge. Slowly lift those arms straight out in front. Inhale, arms up to ceiling. Exhale, fingertips to floor. Again, arms out in front. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Last time, arms out in front. Inhale to lift to ceiling. Exhale to lower. Extend the left leg behind you, pointing through the toes, and return to tabletop. Settle into child's pose, hips to heels, arms extended down the length of the mat and forehead to mat. Take some nice deep breaths here, utilizing the space on the back side of the body. Fill the breath up between the shoulders, between each of your ribs. This will be our rest position throughout the class. You're more than welcome to take this at any time that you feel the need. If you're uncomfortable in this position for any reason, take a look up here. Try coming back to tabletop and lowering to puppy, elbows to mat, palms face down, and head relaxes. Either or for your rest position, whatever is most comfortable for you. Finish up with one last nice deep breath here. And then slowly rise to a tabletop position. Lifting up to the fingertips, extending your left leg behind you. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, around the spine, lift the knee high and get the foot into a lunge position. Right toes tuck onto the mat. Lift that right knee into the air, into lunge, lifting up to pointer and middle finger, sending the chest forward, drawing belly in. Step up to half lift, right foot steps up to meet the left, flatten the back, parallel to floor. Lower to fold, bending the knees, dropping belly to thighs, arms and head hang. And one vertebrae at a time, we'll slowly rise up to a standing position. So now we're about to kick things up a notch. I'm going to walk you guys through our plank sequence for the week. Every week we have a new plank sequence that we tie into the practice. So I'll demo the first time and then we'll tie it in together. So this is a plank, so we'll start in a plank position. And let's just briefly talk about the alignment in plank. Wrist stacked under shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide. Nice lift out of the shoulders here. Heels should be in line with the hips, in line with the shoulders, bellies in, my core is active, my glutes, my thighs, even my calves. Whole body's turned on. You don't want your hips down here. You don't want hips up nice and high, nice and even, shoulders to hips to heels. I'll give us a countdown before we start any plank sequence so you know when it's coming, something along the lines of plank sequence starts in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna lean forward and back. Step the right toes off the mat, step them on. Step the left toes off the mat, step them on. We're gonna do that 3 times. Lean forward and back. Side step and side step. When you lean forward, sometimes people have a little bit of trouble with this. Use your feet for leverage. I'm using the tips of my toes to push me forward, shoulders past the wrist. My feet are initiating the movement. The rest of my body is pretty stable. If that's uncomfortable for your wrist, you can try taking it on fist. If it still doesn't feel comfortable, skip the lean forwards. After we take 3 of those, we'll drop down to a forearm plank. Same thing with the alignment here. We'll hold for 5 seconds and we'll release. So that's the whole plank sequence. We're gonna take that many times during the class, so get pumped and excited about it. We're gonna start timing into some modified sun salutations. So start back at the top of your mat, take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly lift the arms overhead, gazing up towards the fingers. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs. Rise half lift, flattening your back. Step into a plank position, starting our first plank sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lean forward and back. Side step, forward, back. Side step, last time. Come back, side step. Take that forearm plank, holding for 5, 4, check your alignment, make sure hips are in line with shoulders and heels, and release. Place your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows facing up towards the ceiling, legs together. Lift the chest off the mat into baby cobra, shoulders wrapping behind the heart. Using the strength of your core here in your low back, don't press into your hands. And find your rest position, child's or puppy. Just take a breath or 2 here. We're starting to pick up our heart rate. So let's rise right back to tabletop and lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, point through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, lift that knee high and step the foot into lunge. Left toes tuck onto the mat, knee lifts, lips up to the tips of the fingers. And step up to half lift, flattening the back. Lower to folds, belly to thighs, arms and head hang. And nice and slowly we'll round the spine up to a standing position. We're going to take that through 2 more times, lifting the arms overhead, gaze up to the ceiling. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs. Rise half lift, flattening the back. Step into your plank position, starting that sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lean forward, side step. Here's 2, side step, and 3. Side step. Lower to forearm plank, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, hands under shoulders. Lift the chest to baby cobra, shoulders behind the heart, and press to child's, hips to heels. Deepen the breath for a moment, and slowly rise back to tabletop. Lifting up to the tips of the fingers, extending left leg behind you. Give me a crunch, round the spine, lift that knee high, and step into lunge. Lift that right knee off the mat, stepping up to half lift, flatten the back. Lowering to fold, and slowly rising up to standing. Last time through, lifting the arms overhead as we draw the breath in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth into forward fold. Inhaling half lift, flatten the back. Exhale as you step into plank. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Lean forward and back, side step, side step. Here's 2, side step, and 3. Side step, side step. Take your forearm plank. If you want to amp up your forearm plank, you can keep with the lean forwards, rocking on the toes, or you could take side steps, or you can just hold it still. You can amp it up if you like. Release down to the belly. Lift the chest as you inhale, baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position. Let's keep that heart rate up, so rise right back to tabletop. If you'd like to amp up your tabletop crunches, try with your hands flat. I'm always going to instruct to lift the fingertips, but if you like to amp it up and make it a little more difficult, hands stay flat to the mat. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, round that spine. If hands are flat, you're going to have to draw that knee in even closer to get your foot through into lunge. Step up to half lift, flattening the back. Lower to folds, belly to thighs, and slowly rise up to standing. Take your time. Deep breath in through the nose, arms up. Exhale to folds, belly to thighs, switching it up a little bit this time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as you step back into plank and lower the knees to tabletop. Extend your left leg behind you, preparing for some crunches, and draw a knee into chest, round the spine. Inhale and extend the leg one more time. We're going to do this 2 more times actually. Exhale for crunch, round the spine. Inhale to extend, last time. Exhale to crunch, draw that knee in. Don't hold the breath, but hold the pose, keeping that knee high, and step the foot into lunge. Lift up to the tips of the fingers if you're not there already, and lift right knee off the mat. Bring your hands to your thighs, lifting your chest upright, and extending the arms overhead into Anjaneyasana. On the ball of the right foot, left knee is stacked right over the ankle. Keep that right glute nice and active. As you exhale, lower the arms down by your sides. Inhale and lift overhead. Exhale, down by your sides. Inhale, arms up. Last time, exhaling. Inhaling, arms up. Open into 5-pointed star, facing the right side of your mat. So feet come flat and arms lower down to shoulder height. Toes are facing forward. Reach to the front of your mat and take a side bend, sending right arm up to the ceiling. Try not to use your free hand to support yourself and hold yourself up. Instead, use your core to keep the lift in the chest. Belly should be nice and active. We're holding here. Gaze is towards the upraised hand or down towards your toes. Slowly lift back up, right arms at shoulder height. Reach to the back of the mat. Take a side bend into our triangle variation, holding here. Core is active. Deep breaths into the chest. Slowly rise up and place your hands on your hips. Hinge forward from the hips to bring your fingertips down to the floor. Bend your knees if you need to make that happen. Then left foot turns towards the front of the mat and we'll walk our hands into a lunge, lifting the right heel off the mat. Step back into plank, preparing for our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lean forward and back, side step, forward, back, side steps. Here's your last one. Take those side steps, lower to forearm plank, holding for 5. Remembering you can amp it up. Keep leaning forward or maybe keep taking those side steps and lower all the way down to the belly, hands under shoulders. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting the chest, and exhale to your rest position. Take a quick breather here. Deepen the breath. Take note of how you feel in your body. . And slowly rise back to tabletop. Preparing for crunches. Left leg extends behind you, pointing through the toes. Draw knee in towards chest, round the spine, and step the foot into lunge. Step yourself up to half lift, flattening your back. Lower to folds, belly to thighs, and slowly rise up to standing. Next breath in, lifts the arms back overhead. Exhale to folds, belly to thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as you step back into plank and drop the knees to tabletop. Preparing for crunches, right leg extends behind you. Draw knee into chest on the exhale, round the spine. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch number 2, round the spine. Inhale. Last time, breath out, give me that crunch. See if you can lift your knee a little bit higher than you did last time. Hold it here, just a few seconds, and step the foot into lunge. Lift up to the tips of the fingers if you're not there already. Left knee lifts off the mat. Hands come to thigh, and arms extend overhead into Anjaneyasana. Left glute is nice and active now. As you exhale, lower arms down by your sides. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Last time, breath out and breath in. Open a 5-pointed star facing the left side of your mat, arms to shoulder height, feet flat. Reach to the back side of your mat and take a side bend, right arm up to ceiling. Holding here, use your core to hold you up. Deep breaths into the chest. Slowly rise back, arms at shoulder height. Reach to the front of the mat, take that side bend, holding here. Slowly lift upright and bring hands to hips. Hinge forward, placing fingertips on the floor. Right foot faces towards the front of the mat, and we'll walk back into a lunge position. Step back into plank, and we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Lean forward and back. Side step, forward, back, side steps. Last time, side steps. Take your forearm plank and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Inhale, baby cobra, chest lifts, and exhale to your rest position. Deepen the breath. Appreciate this moment of stillness. Slowly rise back to tabletop and prepare for crunches. Right leg extends. Knee to chest, round the spine. Step the foot into lunge. Step up to half lift as you draw the breath in, flattening the back. Exhale to fold, belly to thighs. Draw the inhale out as you slowly rise to standing. And exhale at the top. Take a few moments of breath here, standing nice and tall, palms face forward, lifting through the chest. Deep breaths. Next inhale lifts arms overhead. Exhale to fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, half lift, flattening the back, and step into your plank position. Last plank sequence here in 3, 2, 1. Lean forward and back, side to side. Forward, back, side, side. Last time. Come back, side to side. Lower to forearm plank. We're gonna aim to hold this one for 15 seconds, but you're more than welcome to lower down at any time that you like. I've already started counting. Don't hold the breath. We've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Lower your arms along the sides of your body, palms face up, and let your head rest on the mat, turning your head to one side so cheek is on the mat. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale out through the mouth, let go onto the mat. Starting to slow down the practice. Appreciate the stillness in your body. Go ahead and turn your head to the opposite side. Bring your chin to the mat. And bend the knees so toes face up towards the ceiling, and windshield wiper the feet nice and slowly letting feet fall side to side. Just breaking up any tension we might have built up in our low backs. And lower the legs back onto the mat. Place hands underneath your shoulders and press into your rest position. If you're in child, we'll take a rounded variation, bringing arms along the sides of the body, palms face up. Let the shoulders melt down towards the floor, forehead rest on the mat. Nice and slowly rise out of your rest position and bring your sits bones flat to the mat, extending your legs straight out front. We'll start with the feet flexed. Lift your arms overhead, drop your chin to your chest, and start to round the spine into rounded back stretch, placing hands on the knees and pointing elbows out to the long edges of the mat. We'll spend a few moments here. Allowing the muscles around the spine to relieve any last bit of tension they're holding on to. Take nice, deep, steady breaths to help the muscles relax. Slowly start to straighten the spine. Place your hands on either sides of your hips and find staff pose, lengthening towards the ceiling, then relaxing to a neutral spine. Bend your right knee, placing your foot on the floor. Wrap your left arm around the bent knee and open into spinal twist, twisting from belly and ribs, placing your free hand directly behind you and gazing towards the back of the mat. Even include your gaze in the twist, so looking out to the right corner of your eyes. Keeping the spine nice and long to the ceiling, keeping the belly drawing in. Slowly release. Turn to look forward and straighten the leg. Left knee bends. Right arm holds on this time, twisting to the left, gazing to the back of the mat. Slowly unwind and return to center, straightening the leg. Make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat if you're not there already. Then bend your knees, planting the feet flat to the floor. Lean forward so you can lengthen the spine and draw the belly in. Place your hands on the back sides of your thighs. Start to walk the toes closer in towards the body. Make sure you're grounded on your sits bones, not your tailbone, and we'll hold here, option 1. If you'd like to put a little more work in the core, you can float your feet off the mat, lifting heels in line with the knees, keeping chest lifted to the ceiling and spine long, option 2. Last option is to release your hold of the legs, bringing your arms out at your sides, palms face up, keeping those feet elevated and holding here. If the spine's rounded, you're not activating your core, don't be afraid to hold on to the back of your thighs. We're gonna breathe here. And release, bringing feet back down to the mat. Hands back to the thighs, and we'll roll down one vertebrae at a time until we're flat on our back. Straighten your legs onto the mat. Lift your arms overhead and give me a nice long stretch, stretching out through the toes, out through the tips of the fingers, and then relax, lowering arms down by your sides. Draw your right knee in towards your chest into Apanasana and releasing the fingers, holding below the knee, drawing thigh close to the body, feet flexed. If this is uncomfortable on your knee, you can hold on to the back of your thigh instead. Promoting healthy digestion by massaging our ascending colon. Slowly release, returning your leg to the mat. And draw the left knee in towards the chest, same thing, pulling thigh close to body, keeping feet flexed. Now we're massaging the descending colon. And release, leg to the mat. Draw both knees in towards the chest, pulling the thighs close to the body, feet side by side. And release, feet to the mat. Place your arms along the sides of your body, palms face down. If you can't touch the back of your heels with your fingertips, then walk the feet in closer to the body and separate them until they're hips width distance apart. Bend your elbows, fingertips facing up towards the ceiling. Pressing into the upper arms as well as the feet, we'll lift the hips up towards the ceiling, lifting chin from chest and holding here. A little work for the core and the thighs. Take a few breaths and slowly lower hips back down to the mat. We'll take that one more time. Press into the arms as well as the feet, lifting hips up to ceiling, holding here, drawing belly in, and release, hips down to the mat. Draw both knees back in towards the chest, pulling thighs close to the body. And maybe finding a little bit of a rock side to side. Find some stillness with knees at center. And lower your arms down to the floor, out at shoulder height, palms face up. Let the knees fall to the right into reclined spinal twist. So knees fall over to the right, maybe they touch down to the floor. And gently turn your head to the left. Now's a great time to close the eyes if they're not already closed, helping our body prepare for our final resting pose, allowing us to start turning some of that attention inwards. Slowly draw the knees back to center and let the knees fall over to the left side of the body as head turns to the right. Draw the knees back to center. And the last time, wrapping your arms around the legs, pulling them close to your body. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Lift your head to meet your knees and hold the breath here. As you hold the breath, squeeze everything nice and tight. Fingers, toes, muscles in the face, the legs, holding here. And as you exhale out through the mouth, we'll release. Laying flat on the mat, spreading our legs and arms nice and wide, taking up space. Let the toes fall out, palms face up, and eyes closed. Take one last deep breath in through the nose, filling the body with as much breath as you can, and slowly exhale out through the mouth. As you do so, letting the body melt onto the floor. Bring your attention to your breath, following every rise and fall of your chest. Imagining that with every exhale, your body relieves stress from the body. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bring movement back into the body. Nice and slowly roll over to the right side of your body. Maybe using your arm as a pillow to support your head. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze low to the floor, slowly press yourself up to a seated position. As always, to end class, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together as one, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to add some movement to our cleaning breaths today. So as we exhale, we'll round the spine, dropping our chin to our chest. As we inhale and fill the body with breath, we'll arch the spine and tilt our head up towards the ceiling. We'll take that 3 times through. Let's start on an exhale, releasing all the breath we have in the body, dropping chin to chest. Inhale through the nose, lifting to arch the spine, tilting head up to ceiling. Exhale out through the mouth, finding roundness in the spine, chin to chest. Breathing in for 2, lifting and arching, head tilts up to ceiling. Exhaling out through mouth, rounding the spine. Inhaling for 3, lifting and arching, nice deep breath, deeper than we did the last time. And exhale, nice and slow, rounding, chin to chest. Take a second to thank yourself and your body for getting you through this practice, and I'd like to thank you for letting me lead you on this practice. There is a light within me that honors the light in each one of you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the next day your core is feeling a little bit sore. If you enjoyed this class, a new version of this class airs every Wednesday at 8 a.m. If you're looking for something a little easier on the body, not core focused, but still my style, I teach a vinyasa yoga, and that airs every Monday at 8 a.m. If you're not yet following UMBC on Instagram, what are you doing? Make sure to give us a follow. Keep up with all of our content. We have lots of classes to offer. We also have a YouTube channel, UMBC Rec TV. I hope to see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your week.